People are saying that Ballerina Farm is the new Kim Kardashian.
In a good way?
Well, yeah, because people are actually attracted to her. Not, like, attracted to her, but, like, well, yeah, she's
People
beautiful,
actually like her?
Yeah, she's...
And she's not, like, 10 years past her prime,
yes,
like
people are attracted to her way of living.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
Sometimes she said...
Oh, episode 73.
Yes.
You were literally on the last one.
I was on the last episode?
You were on the last episode. It was about The Office in October.
I feel like we didn't really get to dive into that one.
We'll do it again.
Okay. I need a deep dive on The Office.
Yeah.
I need my own deep dive on The Office.
You are a deep dive of The Office.
They should really interview me, The Office ladies.
They should do... Maybe you should start a fan
They had
podcast.
Billie Eilish on just because she watches The Office all the time. Do they understand that I have it on to take naps?
Well, you should put that on social media. Maybe they'll get your attention. Or you'll get their attention.
I will write them fan mail. I had to go to bed.
Huh?
I had to go to bed.
It's only 9:57.
It is so late.
Hi, folks. Welcome back to the Vince Salerno Podcast. Welcome to the first episode of 2024. How exciting! Especially exciting since I have a wonderful guest with me who I'm happy to say will be appearing in more episodes in the coming, well, let's say months and years. My beautiful wife, Kate.
That bodes well for me. Thank you, Vince.
You did say you wanted to be on the show more. So.
I did.
I wanted you on the
like
show
it.
more. I asked her if she'd be on the show more, and you said, yes, I would love that. And so...
I do.
That's an exact quote.
Yes.
In that tone.
In that tone. You nailed it.
Thank you. I'm improving on my acting skills.
Yes. Which we are working on.
Sarcasm. Yeah, so actually,
we're actually
trying to teach each other acting and writing. We're actually trying to be very artistic, more artistic this year than we have in the past years. So wish us luck on that front. We're going to be the Chip and Joanna Gaines of filmmaking.
Yeah, one of my goals this year was to, like, at the very end of the year, look back and say, what was one big creative thing that I did?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was listening to this one person on a podcast, and she wrote a book. And I was like, that'd be really cool at the end of the year to look back and say, I wrote a book. I wrote and published a book.
You're not writing a book, though.
I'm not writing a book. That is not my big project. No. But I wanted to do something creative after I heard that.
We are writing a series, though.
Yes.
We're writing the pilot for the series.
We are writing a pilot.
That's what we're doing.
Yes.
That's all we can really say about this project. We don't want to reveal too much. We literally just started and nothing's, officially official. So we're writing a pilot.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing this year.
Yeah, that's going to be my big project.
We're going to be acting and stuff.
Yeah, which is also part of the big project. It's a big undertaking. It is a very well-rounded project.
Yes. But we can't talk about it.
No, we cannot talk about it.
We're not under NDAs or anything. We're under our own NDAs.
Yes. I don't want anybody stealing this idea.
Yes.
I want it to be
We don't want to tell anybody anything until we have more information to share. There's nothing really to share.
Yeah, there's nothing to share, and I want it to be a really cool big reveal.
Yes. So stay tuned on that front.
We'll do that. Yeah.
All right, we have a lot to talk about. We're going to talk about some current events today. So there's a lot going on. One of the big things, not that anybody really cares, and if you do care, well, I guess that's fine, but it's losing relevance day after day. The Oscars, award shows in general. I remember the Emmy the Grammys came on, and there was all the it was the Emmys. It was all these celebrities and their self-grandized, showboating and all that. Although some people, I'm sure, deserve the awards, and it's nice to see people who deserve awards get recognition. But I thought, let these shows continue. A lot of people are saying these shows should just cancel the shows. Don't do it. I say no. Let them continue. Just stop televising them because we don't care.
I'm just there for the fashion faux pas.
Yeah, as most.
I just want to see the best dressed and the worst dressed.
Yeah. You want to watch Allie Beth Stuckey's take on the best and worst dressed of the award
or
shows.
Evie or
Evie.
Alex Clark,
Alex Clark.
Poplytics.
I forget Alex Clark does one
My
too.
own take.
Your take. You have some spicy takes on fashion, yeah.
I just don't agree with so much.
I think half the world agrees with you. More than half the world agrees with you.
I don't think so. Some people think like certain things are fashion, and I just don't agree.
Well, I don't think anybody thought what Billie Eilish was wearing was fashion.
She looked like a manga character that had walked backwards.
She looked like Tweedledee from Alice in Wonderland.
She did. She looked like a manga version of Tweedledee.
Yeah. Wow. That was harsh.
That was something.
Yeah. Okay.
Who dresses these people? All right, I can't get into that.
We're not.
It's
Yeah.
gonna be
This is off topic.
tangent.
Okay. The Oscars happened, and per usual, every year people were nominated, and people who should have been nominated weren't. The internet is in a frizzy because, God forbid,
A frizzy,
a tizzy,
a frenzy.
a frenzy.
were you mashing frenzy and
Is it tizzy? Is it tizzy?
I think it's a tizzy.
Okay, sorry. The internet is in a tizzy, as it is every day. The internet's in a constant tizzy, if anything. But particularly this thing here. So Barbie, the big movie of last year.
We still haven't seen it.
We still haven't seen it, so we're not going to talk about the. Let me just say what this is first. Barbie got nominated for multiple awards, including, I believe, Best Picture and Best Supporting Actor and Best Supporting Actress. That being Ryan Gosling and America Ferrera. But the internet is in a tizzy because Margot Robbie did not get nominated for Best Actress, and Greta Gerwig did not get nominated for Best Director. Now, as Kate said, neither of us have seen Barbie. We have been making plans to see it because we were kind of going back and forth whether we wanted to see it or not, because a lot of conservatives were saying one thing about it, and
There's just too much noise around
some
it.
conservatives were saying it was like a secretly based movie, and some conservatives were saying it was woke garbage and all that. And then there were some people like the middle like grift who were just like, it's a movie. Like, yes, there are overt feminist tropes in there, but it's not like overtly offensive per se. Or if it's slightly offensive, like, you know, learn to laugh at yourself. And so we've been kind of going back and forth about like which take is the right take, but we just decided recently that like we should just watch it ourselves and make our own analysis and not try to glom onto like the opinion of the hour, so to speak, or the right opinion, or the conservative opinion, or the liberal opinion, or whatever. So we're going to talk about this without discussing the merit of the movie and the merit of the performances and the directing, because we haven't seen the movie, and it's not right that we judge that based on a movie that we haven't seen. Here's what I think. Based on the hype and the popularity of the film, and allegedly like the artistic value of the film, apparently it's a very poignant movie about womanhood. Should Greta Gerwig and Margot Robbie get nominated? Sure, absolutely. They got nominated for Golden Globes, I believe. They probably deserve Oscar nominations. Here's the thing. People get snubbed every year. And people move on every year. This seems to be, like, people just seem to be obsessing over this, just, like, incessantly.
We know this because of the Top Gun.
What about
Top Gun movie that came out in 2022.
What about
Maverick? It got snubbed.
For... What did you want it to win?
Best movie.
Best picture?
Best picture. Best... Oh, gosh. Cinematography. They actually were in the jets.
Those boys...
Best soundtrack.
Those boys got jet fuel in their bloodstream because they committed.
They did. They did the whole training thing and everything. It wasn't just the movie.
Yeah.
They trained to become pilot. Like, it was a craft. It was actually taking everything back and making acting and art, making acting a craft. and putting something really beautiful together. And just, it didn't even get anything. It didn't get anything.
Yeah.
It's so frustrating. It's just a scam. I just think that the Oscars are a scam. All the award shows are bought and paid for.
Let me ask you this. Based on what you know about the film and its reception, and the praise the movie's gotten, do you think they deserve nominations for their contributions, or do you think there were other people that probably, like, they were not the nominees were nominated because they deserve it, and when it came down to it, Greta Gerwig and Margot Robbie just did not that they didn't do a good job, but like there were more qualified people that got nominated.
Yes, it wasn't like Barbie wasn't. Excuse me. I'm so sorry. You can cut that out.
I'll cut it out. Yeah.
Barbie wasn't this like. Oh my gosh, words.
It wasn't like a riveting.
It wasn't some like deep newfound movie.
Sure.
Like it wasn't. I mean, even the sets were kind of like cheesy. Like Barbie, they were Barbie.
Yeah.
They were toy-like, but I wouldn't say it made you think. It made you. I mean, again, I haven't seen it.
Yeah, we haven't seen the film. From what we've observed,
to these other movies that came out, I just don't think it qualifies. It's too surface level
and
I don't think
mainstream.
It goes deep. Yes, I don't think it goes deep enough.
And again, we may be proven wrong when we see the film. And I think it's even, honestly, I think it's even weird that the movie's being considered for awards at all. Like,
oh really? You think it's weird?
Well, I think it's weird that like Ryan Gosling as Ken,
that's hilarious,
which is supposed to be one of the funniest performances of the year, is nominated. Now, look, back in the day, they used to nominate comedies in these categories, so I like to see that like they're nominating them. But I almost think Barbie being lumped into the Oscar debate is more of a political thing in the sense that they want to get people to watch the Oscars. It has nothing to...
Oh, yeah, or it garners attention.
Yeah, like, it's not exciting...
No.
...that Greta Gerwig gets nominated for a Oscar. It's not exciting that Margot Robbie gets nominated. It's exciting that Ryan Gosling gets nominated for Ken. It's exciting to see the Barbie movie in general get nominated for Best Picture. Yeah. And it's also, I guess... diversity points from nominating America Ferrera, and I'm sure America Ferrera does a great job in the film. I don't know. I haven't seen it, but I don't know. I just think Barbie being lumped into all of this is bizarre in general. It's a movie made to sell Barbie toys. Yeah. Albeit the subject matter of the
Barbie movie.
Albeit the subject matter of the film is not targeted towards kids at all, which is a little hypocritical, I guess. But yeah, so I just think this whole thing is being blown out of proportion. I don't know why, like, out of all this, like, yes, people have gotten snubbed for Oscars in the past. I don't know why this is the hill we have to die on. Wait,
this just in, the best song written for visual media, is that what I'm Just Ken was won for?
I think, yeah.
Okay, because that was one of their nominations. They were nominated for best song written for visual media.
Oh, okay.
So they were up against Barbie World from the Barbie album. Dance the Night from Barbie the album. I'm Just Ken.
From what's her face? Levitating, Dua Lipa?
Yes, Dance the Night.
That song was nominated for a Grammy?
Yes. So Barbie World,
I mean, I love Dua Lipa, but...
I'm Just Ken, Lift Me Up from Black Panther, Wakanda Forever.
Never saw that, never
and
heard
What
it.
Was I Made For from Barbie. And I'm Just Ken won.
I haven't heard What Was I Made For, but I've been told that song comes up in a very like emotional,
I figured,
poignant moment in the movie.
It's Billie Eilish.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I just think this whole thing is just like, because like these award shows are just desperate for views. They're hemorrhaging views. They need people to watch. And if Barbie is popular, Barbie is like one of the only films that made $1 billion this year. Of course, they're going to nominate people in the categories that are going to get people attention. And
like,
again, maybe there's...
Fact?
What do you mean after the fact?
Like, Ryan Gosling needs attention after the fact that Barbie's come out?
I don't think it's about Ryan Gosling. I think it's about what the song is doing for the award shows. Like it's
so they still need attention after the award shows. That's what
No. The award shows need the attention, not the actors, not the performers, not the studios.
Oh, I see. Okay.
No one's watching these award shows. Like every year, the views get worse and worse and worse, and they need to nominate. They need to keep things in these award shows that people are going like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to watch and see Barbie win for Best Picture or whatever. It's like when they nominated Black Panther for Best Picture. Like, I love Black Panther. I think it's a really good movie. Is it Oscar worthy? No.
Yeah, it's just a fun Marvel
No,
movie. It's
a fun like royalty Lion King superhero movie.
Yeah, seriously.
It was not an award-winning like Oscar-worthy movie. Now you want to talk about an Oscar-worthy film that's a superhero film. Honestly, like Avengers Infinity War should have been nominated 100%.
Yeah.
That movie's incredible. Black Panther, I'm sorry, but no. All right, next on our list, we're going to talk about Indiana Jones. 2024 rolled around and you guys thought I wasn't going to figure out a way to talk about Indiana Jones. Well, you were wrong. Because Lucasfilm and Bethesda and Machine Games are releasing a brand new Indiana Jones video game called Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. Apparently this movie is going to involve Indy going around the world to places like the Vatican, desert landscapes, the jungle, anything that you want to see in an Indiana Jones game or movie. And he's going to fight off against Nazis. There's a love interest. Marcus Brody is back. It just looks fun. I mean, I watched the trailer and I got really excited. Like, I know, Kate, you're not the biggest Indiana Jones fan. I know you like...
I like Indiana Jones, though. I watched all of them with you.
Yeah.
Actually,
you really
we did.
enjoyed them.
I really enjoyed them. They
Which
were
one
kind
did
of
you like the most?
I didn't like the last one.
The Dial of Destiny?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't either, obviously.
I did not like the weird, dark one.
Oh,
with
the Temple of Doom?
Yeah. Nope.
Yeah, you didn't like that one.
Didn't like the alien, the Crystal Skull. And the only thing I didn't like about the first one was the faces melting.
Oh, Raiders?
Yeah, Raiders.
Yeah,
Well,
that's intense.
Are there 5?
Yeah.
What's the 5th one?
Dial of Destiny.
Oh, no, what's the one I'm missing?
You're missing The Last Crusade, the third one.
I liked that one.
Which
one was that one?
That's the third one. The Holy Grail.
Loved that one.
With Sean Connery as his dad.
Yes, loved that one.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
Yeah, that's the one where they're on the train.
Yes. When he's young Indiana Jones.
Yes.
When he's young Indiana Jones.
When
he's younger.
Yes.
When Indiana Jones is young Indiana Jones. Sorry. Okay. I grew up playing, I don't know if I told this, I after Crystal Skull got released, they did the same thing here. Like, they started making another Indiana Jones video game, and it was called Indiana Jones and the Staff of Kings, and it was about him finding Moses' staff.
Oh, wow.
It was so fun. I remember playing that game, like, for days. And, like, I remember being stuck on a particular level for, like, a whole year. And such a fun game.
I wish they had a National Treasure game.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Almost like Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego? That was such a fun game.
Yeah.
I love any of those treasure hunting games. So
yeah.
Indiana Jones would be a really...
Did you get to watch the trailer?
No, I didn't get to watch the trailer.
Oh, it's okay.
I will, but I haven't.
The guy they got to voice Indiana Jones sounds amazing. Like, he sounds almost exactly like young Harrison Ford. No. It's an actor.
Wow.
His name is Troy Baker.
Is he an impressionist?
I don't know. I've never heard of him up until now. And he doesn't even look like Harrison Ford.
Oh, that's funny.
But he does a great... I'm assuming he's doing motion capture. He sounds perfect.
That's amazing.
No,
Vince literally you came home the other day and you were like, I need an Xbox.
Yeah.
We're getting an Xbox. And I just looked at him and said, what do you mean? I looked at you and I was like, what do you mean? No, we're not. I was like, you're not going to be a gaming husband. You're just not. And then he told me that the Indiana Jones game was coming out. And so then I was like, oh, you're kidding. Okay.
I'd literally only buy it just to play that game.
I know you're excited about it, but I don't think that Warner's
No.
getting.
Apparently
Did I just say Warner's?
Yeah.
Isn't Warner? I meant
You
warrant.
mean warrants.
Doesn't warrant getting.
I apparently they're putting it out on PC too, so maybe I could get it on my computer or something.
I have a lot of CD games that I still like.
Yeah, I don't think they're selling a disc, but
a download.
I don't know anything about modern video gaming. I know that it's all about downloads and stuff.
You can download it. Downloading is easy, and then it's always on your computer, and nothing gets ruined.
Yeah, exactly. No, the only video game that besides Staff of Kings, that I have like extensive experience playing is Disney Infinity with the figurines.
Oh yeah, that's fun.
I absolutely love that game. All right, so anyways, yeah, the movie looks the game looks like a lot of fun. There's a new love interest named Gina Lombardi, played by Alessandra Mastronardi.
Don't even know who that is.
Who, I'm sorry, but like, guys, go back to the drawing board, because at some angles this woman does not look like a woman.
Can I see?
In the video game.
Oh, like, yikes! Who is that? Who is she supposed to be?
She's the love interest for the game. She just doesn't. She has this like buzz cut. It looks like a buzz cut.
It looks like she would be like the tour guide, or like the
at Indiana Jones Adventure. Well, this is the concept art. So this is what this is.
Why would they do that?
Okay, so I guess it's not really a buzz cut.
It's more pixie cut.
It's more like Amelia Earhart.
It's a pixie cut.
Yeah.
It's just not good though. Not for a love interest. I just don't see it for a love interest.
Oh boy, yeah. This is what I saw, and I was like, that's a woman.
Oh, she looks kind of old too. I'm just not in love.
Yeah, I would say it's not the animation needs to be improved on that, because she does not look good. No discredit to the actress. It's the gamers or the makers of the game that need to up that. People are in an uproar. Some people are in an uproar about this, because apparently one of the let me see if I can find it. One of the developers on the game, they put him out there in this this LGBT shirt with a pin and stuff, and apparently he said something along the lines of, we want to make this game for a modern audience, which nowadays usually means that, oh yeah, we're going to ruin Indiana Jones and make it woke and dumb, which we obviously saw happen already, because if you remember the insulting atrocity that was Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Don't even get me started on Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Let me see. Okay, I have the clip pulled up right here. He says, we have the opportunity to tell an Indiana Jones story for a modern gaming audience, as this guy Edward Curtis Sivens is like has a buzz cut, or like, one side of his head shaved, a giant gay LGBTQ symbol on his shirt, and an LGBTQ pin, and he's the one delivering. We're gonna deliver a Indiana Jones game for a modern audience.
Yeah, well. And
that might mean, like, to be fair, that might mean like modern gaming standards, like downloads and all the
we just don't know what graphics. It means yet.
But yeah, like, that's super vague, and I guess all signs are pointing to this potentially being a woke Indiana Jones game, which I just that would be the worst thing right now, because Indiana Jones already got that treatment, as I said, with Dial of Destiny. I'm gonna make a Dial of Destiny review one of these days, because it is the most insulting movie I've ever seen. And there are great moments in the film. And it's equally disappointing because James Mangold, who I love as a director, was behind it. And I think it was a combination of his misunderstanding of the character and Kathleen Kennedy's just incessant agenda of just ruining everything George Lucas created. So, yeah. What do you think, babe? I mean, you hear that. I know you're not a big gamer, but like the modern audience talk. Like, do you really trust that they're going to...
Like, anytime someone says modern audience, it just can't mean something good.
Yeah.
It just can't. Like, every time we try to modernize something, it's the worst. Whenever you take someone back into the classical period or contemporary period, it's so much better. So much more fun, so much more beautiful, so much more entertaining, so much more... Like, you just feel better.
This is why people
With that
are
approach.
just... Like, I was talking with one of my friends at work, and we were talking about this stuff, and he was just said, like, yeah, when I get married and have kids, I'm just going to show them all the classics that I grew up on. I'm not even going to bother taking them to modern movies.
Honestly, that's probably the best thing you could do for them.
And I hate saying that because I love being able to partake in, like the new stuff coming out and like making new memories and watching new stories unfold on the big screen. But if they're going to just keep producing junk like this and like they're not getting the message, like people don't want this stuff. People don't want to be indoctrinated into this woke agenda. They don't want to talk about modern audience or whatever. The modern audience is a small minority of people that do not represent the audience. I don't know how long Hollywood can continue doing this because it's not sustainable. They're gonna be non-existent within like I'd say less than 10 years. Maybe even less than 5 years. I don't know. Like, this has obviously been going on for a long time. And Disney is like... Disney cannot manage to be fooling around with a woke Indiana Jones video game. Like, this kind of needs to perform well. Or, I don't know what they're going to do. Suffer. But, speaking of Disney, let's move on to another Disney topic. So this is coming out, and not a lot of people are talking about it. I thought it'd be fun to discuss it. So Chris Gore of Film Threat, and a writer that works for Film Threat by the name of Alan Eng, has they started this series on their website, and it's called the D-Files, not to be confused with the Twitter files. And this is basically, apparently a lot of anonymous Disney employees have reached out to them, giving them, like, their experience of how woke and how horrible Disney has become. And this actually started last year, because people were reaching out to them talking about the production of Wish. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Like, they were saying that Wish was supposed to be the story of the fictional story of the origin of the song "When You Wish Upon a Star," as tribute to Walt Disney, the 100th anniversary of Disney.
Really exciting.
Oh my gosh, that sounds amazing!
Actually, I think this was probably the worst PR that Disney has ever done.
You mean as far as promoting the movie?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Because the more I watched like little clips that came out, the more information came out about, not even information, just like the more that it was talked about or the more that you saw things from it, the more I was like,
this looks so half-baked.
Yeah, like I could not want to see a movie less. This movie
you didn't
right
tell
now.
me that. That's hilarious.
Yeah, I just had no desire to see it.
Wow. Yeah, I held out hope that like it was going to be really good, like it was going to right the ship, because I had heard from people that worked at Disney that it was, but I don't know if they were trying to cover or if they were under NDAs, but that didn't happen, obviously. But basically these employees reached out and said that it was supposed to be the origin of the song "When You Wish Upon a Star," and it quickly was hijacked and rewritten and rescrapped to be, ironically, a reflection of the quote unquote modern audience.
Yes.
Like, it's the movie that we got is essentially like this girl who doesn't have any power, doesn't have any knowledge, takes it upon herself to decide what like strip Chris Pine's character of his power, because he's actually seems like in the movie he's doing something good where he's like people are allowed to like make wishes to him, and he grants the ones that he thinks is best for the town. And she's like, oh, but all these people deserve to have their wishes granted. He's like, sorry, I'm in charge and I decide what is right for this town, or as he says to me, what everyone deserves. So I'm sure in the movie he actually comes off more villainous, but like even his song,
the villain
was
song,
really bad.
It's so there are so many
really
memes
bad
making fun of it. Like the one that's most common is the villain from Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Yeah,
Singing his epic Hellfire song, and then it pauses to like Chris Pine's
this is the date
song.
I get. Like, you call that a villain song?
Yeah, no, it was too much for me.
Like
as a villain,
when Disney used to produce bangers like Hellfire. I mean, come on, man. Of course, we can't talk about religion and all that. God forbid.
Sorry.
God help the outcast. Did you get that?
That was really good.
Thank you.
I liked it.
Okay, so, but yeah, good on Chris Gore and Alan Ng for putting this out. And they have gotten some really great insights from these anonymous employees who have reached out to Film Threat to get the story out about what's happening to Disney. And apparently this all starts with John Lasseter. I'll try to give just a general overview. I really encourage you guys to go read these yourselves. I'll put the links in the description of this episode today. So what happened was apparently John Lasseter would get a little, like, they mentioned like a potential drinking problem, not like an alcohol problem or like an alcoholic problem, but he would, like, at parties,
just a rowdy problem.
Yeah, like he'd have like one too many drinks and get a little too friendly or rowdy. But then outside of that, he also liked to hug people a lot. Like that was kind of his love language. And for some people, getting a hug from John Lasseter was like a mark of approval. And for some who had like personal space issues, they were a little sensitive to that. And like that's understandable. I don't think there's anything wrong with like having a personal bubble and not wanting that bubble to be popped. But people apparently like were not happy with the fact that he was getting away with things like this and the drinking thing.
But did they speak up and say anything about it?
Well, no.
Okay.
So that's what happens here.
Okay.
And I guess maybe some disgruntled employees upset about working for a straight white man. And apparently they developed a small coup within the company against John Lasseter, and they were able to have him take a leave of absence based on these allegations, and then he was forced out completely. And the article points out that there was like a staff meeting that happened where the heads of the company, basically, assured everyone, okay, everything's going to be fine. We're going to heal from this. We're going to move on from this. And if there's any questions, anyone have anything to ask? And apparently a woman stood up and said, yeah, can a woman run the studio from now on? Like, what's a woman going to do?
I have so many thoughts about that.
Okay. Well, okay. So you have thoughts on a woman running Disney?
Yes.
Okay. The floor is yours.
Okay.
What do you think?
First of all, I agree that women can aim high and they are capable of doing a lot. I don't agree that they can do anything men can do. And I especially don't agree that they can overtake something as big as Disney. Like, one woman can run Disney. First of all, women are very different from men. We should know this by now. men are very level-headed. They compartmentalize things. They put things in tiny little boxes in their head, but it's like very easy to pick it out. Women, they're like a tech room with wires laying all over the floor. Like, it is so hard for us to compartmentalize things well and as individually as men. Women also have cycles where we are very level-headed sometimes during the month. We're very emotional, sensitive, high anxious functioning, high anxiety functioning at other times during the month. And then we're like super soft and sentimental and sweet. And like, we just want to be like very playful and like just no woman is different. Every woman is like this. Every woman is a constant cyclone of feelings and emotions. And while yes, women can run businesses and there are very hard workers and what have you, we are very prone to breaking down at some point and like needing to take a step back. So it makes me nervous when women want to run the country, run Disney,
dominate male spaces.
Yes. And it's not even like dominating male spaces, but just doing the work that it's just a lot for women to do. I hope that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
It would take me an hour, I feel like, to dive into this whole topic, but
women are obviously capable of doing anything that, like, most things that men can do as far as work goes.
yes.
But to think that, like, women are better than men, or that even men are better than women, is like a very backwards way of thinking.
No, we're very complementary, and this is why we need complementarity between men and women, because we have strengths that men don't, and men have strengths that we don't.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, an example of this, I worked with women. Pretty much all women. There were maybe 2 men that I worked with on a daily basis during work, and I'm not gonna... This was at your old job.
This
is at my most recent job. My most recent old job. Yes. And can I just tell you that while, when I first got there, everyone was very professional. Everyone was so nice. Everyone was so sweet. We all dressed very professionally and all this stuff. There would be days, weeks even, where some women were just off their rockers. They were crazy. They were emotional. They were just hormonal. Very hormonal. And that just happens. Like, I'm sorry. It just happens. And that's okay, because that's just women. We just go through things. But imagine if women were running that company on that large of a scale. I'm not saying that women can't run companies and businesses or whatever. Just on as large of a scale as Disney or this company was.
Mm-hmm.
It would be an emotional roller coaster for everyone involved. Not even just for the person in charge, not for the woman in charge.
Do you think that's going on right now with Jennifer Lee running Disney Animation?
I think so. I think it's more of a, let me prove to you that I can do it. And it's not I love this company and I want to do what I can for this company. I think that's the issue.
Mm-hmm.
Women don't love it. I think a lot of women say, oh, I love my job. I love it. I would do anything for it. But no, I don't think they love it enough to where they're making sure everybody is taken care of. They're making sure everything is running smoothly. Like,
they need to protect their title and
it's
prove
more of a competition.
Prove that, like, they can do it just as well as a man can.
It's not coming from a good place. It's coming from a competitive place, and that's just red flags.
So like first grader on a playground.
Yeah, it's red flags.
Yeah.
It's giving red flags.
It's giving red flags. Kate and I had a conversation the other day, and I told her...
He doesn't like that.
The new thing that I hate that people say now, and I hate most new things that people say, but one thing I hate this more than any of them is it's giving. Like, someone was saying that at work, and I was just like, it's giving what? Like, what are you talking about?
What is it giving me? I think some people... I said something, it's giving something the other day. No, not the other day. Like weeks ago. And I cannot remember for the life of me what I said. But it was genius. It was bomb. And that was the only time I said it. And I'm very proud of when I said it. Whatever I said, I just knew it was great. And then I never remembered it. So we've moved on from there.
We've moved on because... Like, it's giving... Like that... It's giving is giving me a headache. That's how I feel. Okay, so really quick, just to cover some more parts about part 1 of the D-Files. So these employees kind of took advantage of the Harvey Weinstein situation, which gave them a reason, a good cover to get John Lasseter forced out of the company. Let me see. I'll read a paragraph directly from the article here. Reports of his inappropriate behavior, I guess there was inappropriate behavior that was reported. Interesting. Okay. Reports of his inappropriate behavior made their way to the public and the board, that being Disney. According to the Hollywood Reporter's Kim Masters, a longtime Pixar employee said that Lasseter was known for grabbing, kissing, and making comments about physical attributes. As these accusations circulated Disney, our sources questioned how these stories were framed as malicious and possibly unfair accusations against Lasseter. Apparently, Masters reported that he made unwanted advances towards Toy Story 4 writer Rashida Jones, though Masters immediately quoted Jones as refuting the claim, saying, "We did not leave Pixar because of the unwanted advances. That is untrue. The damage was done, however." And I won't go too much into the D-Files Part 2. Again, I encourage you guys to read these because they're really well done. Alan Young did a really good job here writing these and compiling all the information that the employees gave them. But Part 2 basically goes into like how Raya and the Last Dragon, which is a movie that we actually liked.
I actually really liked it.
I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it.
I think it was a little on the nose, and maybe that is attributing to the situation. But part 2 of the D-Files details how Raya and the Last Dragon was basically a testing ground for this full-blown diversity, inclusion, and equity agenda that happened at Disney. Apparently there were the original directors and the writer of the film, who was the writer of the successful Crazy Rich Asians, which made like almost over $200 million.
Yeah,
like,
I still haven't seen that.
It's a really fun movie. I enjoyed it. I saw it with my parents, and they really enjoyed it too. She was demoted to co-writer. She had to share writing duties with another writer, and ironically, that writer ended up writing like Strange Worlds, which bombed last year at the box office. That was last year, right? Or was that 2022?
2020. I get so confused with the years.
I know. I think it was
2022.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, you're right. And then there were initially 2 directors on the film, and they were being ousted. Most of these people were ousted because they were Lasseter people. And then they put on these more diverse and inclusive writers and directors. Well, the director had never directed an animated film before. He didn't know what he was doing. And so Don Hall, who is an experienced, well-known, beloved Disney director, he's directed some great movies for Disney, he came on. He was hired to basically be a co-director and sort of mentor this new and up-and-coming director, who ended up not coming back to work for Disney and went back to directing music videos because he didn't know what he was doing, and Disney hired him because he was a diversity hire, basically. But then the whole staff, the whole team under Raya and the Last Dragon, basically was let go and replaced with like Southeast Asian women, women of color, people of color. Like, they wanted us to be the most diverse and inclusive movie Disney had ever had behind the scenes. No white people, basically. Which is just a really bizarre and just frankly racist way to go about making a movie. And so it was all about an agenda. Ironically, Raya and the Last Dragon, again, I like them. I haven't seen it in a while, and there were some things that I thought were kind of like surface level, not great jokes, not great lines. I think the ending was kind of a little too inconvenient, and just some very on the nose moments in the movie. But I think all in all, good movie. To know that this was the agenda behind it, and this is probably only the beginning of the craziness that went on behind the scenes. I mean, just the fact they tried to get like an all-women crew, and that they just didn't want anybody else on the film. It's just ridiculous. And again, it goes to show just how bad Disney is failing on these fronts. They just do not understand how this is affecting them. I mean, I hope that they understand this is affecting them, but like, instead of trying to improve, they just keep thinking they can get away with this stuff. The audience that they are catering to is so small that they aren't even going to make a dent in the box office. Case in point with Wish, Strange World. I mean, heck, even Raya and the Last Dragon, although that movie has the benefit of saying it came out during COVID. So, I don't know, what do you think? What do you think about all this stuff coming out about Disney from the D-Files? No, I mean, it's obviously confirming what we know, but now that we like have animators coming out against the company they work for that we love, like, what does that say to you? How do you feel about that?
It says they're either just unhappy. I don't know if it's unhappiness or ungratefulness.
Well, it's got to be unhappiness, because what's there to be grateful for? Their bosses hate them.
That's true. That's true, I guess. I mean, you land your dream job and people hate you, you know? It's just a really unfortunate.
You land your dream job at one of the greatest film studios in the world, and all they care about is filling diversity, equity, and inclusion quotas. They don't care about making good movies or making good art.
It's not gonna get better. It's gonna get worse until it gets better. It's gonna take someone to clean slate.
How much worse can it get?
I don't know.
Like,
it can get worse.
Like, they celebrated 100 years.
Oh, I know.
In 2023.
And that clip was really beautiful.
What clip?
The celebration of 100 years for Walt Disney Pictures. Where all the characters come to life at the studio.
Oh, you mean the short film, Once Upon a Studio.
Why can't we make something as nostalgic and beautiful as that? Like, it just made you feel everything when you saw that.
It was great.
It was beautiful.
It was the only good thing Disney produced this year.
I just loved it.
Outside of Guardians of the Galaxy 3. But, last year they celebrated 100 years, and they made the worst dent in the box office that, they've ever made. Mm-hmm. Last time they were on top was 2019.
That's really sad.
When they came out with, Avengers Endgame, Star Wars 9, Toy Story 4. Mm-hmm. I can't even remember what else came out that year from Disney, but just Aladdin. Aladdin made $1 billion.
It did,
and most people don't even like Aladdin.
No, I liked it.
I thought it was good. So you're right. It's going to get worse before it gets better. But the question is, how worse can it get?
Let's not ask that question.
Yeah. Okay, last thing I want to discuss, and then we'll get out of here. It's this really, really sweet clip I saw online the other day. And since this is a show about movies and the culture, and I want to talk about, good, positive things, I thought this warranted talking about. Actress Sara Snook credits her success to her unborn child in her Emmy acceptance speech.
The biggest thank you, I think, though, is to someone who won't understand anything that I'm saying at the moment. But I carried her with me in this last season, and really it was her who carried me. It's very easy to act when you're pregnant because you've got hormones raging. And the proximity of her life growing inside me gave me the strength to do this and this performance. And I love you so much. And it's all for you from here on out. Thank you.
I know Sara Snook. I think she's in that show Succession.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think that's...
I was wondering where she was from because I've never I don't think I'd ever heard of her.
I hadn't either. Yeah, Succession actress Sara Snook. I'm reading from the article from Evie.
Okay.
Which is
yes,
great publication.
I've subscribed.
Yeah.
I pay to read their content.
Yes, you do. Yeah, no, they're great. I follow them on Twitter, and I love reading their headlines, and they just put so much great stuff out in the world. But the fact that she thanked her unborn daughter,
that's beautiful. Her daughter's gonna see that one, or her child. Is it a baby girl?
It was her unborn daughter.
Okay, yeah. One day she's gonna see that and just know how much she's loved.
Yeah,
she'll know how much she's loved.
Let's see. So, I'm reading directly from Evie magazine. Sara Snook thanked her daughter, who was still in her womb during the filming of the 4th and final season. Quote, "The biggest thank you goes to someone who won't understand anything that I'm saying at the moment, but I carried her with me in the last season, and really, it was her who carried me." It's an emotionally raw moment of gratitude from a mother who managed to play one of the coldest, most calculated characters in the show. Snook displayed a sweet femininity that captured the internet and went viral, which is ironic considering the character she played was completely the opposite. Toxic femininity can manifest in various ways. Women competing with each other in harmful ways, using beauty as a means of manipulation, demanding special treatment under the guise of historical oppression, or engaging in behaviors that are generally considered destructive and unethical, such as infidelity. The fictional character of... I'm not going to pronounce that name. I don't know what her...
Let me see.
Sibahan?
Shiv? Oh, Siobhan.
Siobhan.
Yeah, Siobhan.
Siobhan Roy in Succession displays numerous traits that exemplify this concept. Okay, we understand she's a toxic character, blah, 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 blah. Obviously, at the Golden Globes in 2020, Michelle Williams, who was expecting at the time, delivered a viral acceptance speech after winning Best Actress for her portrayal as Gwen Verdon in FX miniseries Foss Verdon. Her speech was not just a moment of personal triumph, she used it as time to advocate for abortion rights. Williams claimed that women deserve the chance to make choices about their body and their life, equating choice with the intention of killing a human life. And that was kind of the thing that, and good on Evie magazine, the writer of that article, Gina Florio. Gina Florio.
Gina Florio, yeah.
Yeah. Props to you. Great article. I immediately thought of that, like the gratitude of being expressed.
Beautiful.
Of I get to be a mother, and this life inside me was essentially what she's saying was like this life inside me was giving me life and giving me strength to play this character, which is just such a, I guess speaking as parents, like it's such a wonderful thing to see a Hollywood actress coming out and saying,
it's very refreshing.
Like, my child compelled me to be a good actress, not my child impeded me from success, and I needed to abort them so I could be successful, which is what Michelle Williams' speech is all about. And it's obviously night and day the way those two are compared. I don't know, did anything, obviously, but other than the obvious, like what stood out to you when you heard that, when you saw that?
It's just nobody ever says anything about that. And actually something that's really interesting is whenever someone's pregnant on a show, it's always hide. Don't let them show it. Like there's some rare cases where an actress will tell a director or producer or whatever that she's pregnant, and they'll incorporate that pregnancy into the storyline. But most times they're in the position where they need to hide it. And they pull out all the stops, they dress them differently, they hide their bellies behind objects and props and sets and stuff. And it's just really nice to, like, even if I've never seen her role on the show, so I don't know if she was hiding her pregnancy, but if she was, then it's still just very refreshing that she acknowledges that she was pregnant on the show.
Mm-hmm.
And she's grateful for the opportunity to be able to act and for her child who helped her along the way. Like, it's just beautiful.
Yeah.
It's very refreshing to see that.
Yeah.
Most women would complain and be like, you know,
I couldn't have this child at this time because it was such an inconvenience.
Yeah, not even that. Just, like, blame their performance on their pregnancy.
Yeah.
Just, there should be so many things that they could complain about, but it's just very nice to see someone coming forward, especially someone on a hit show.
Yeah.
Saying
and
things
such a
like
big
that are...
stage.
Yeah, saying things in front of the whole world
and
that
it's
are
just,
very pro-life.
And it's just true. Like,
Yeah.
it's just truth. Like...
It is true.
I think both of us, speaking as parents, like,
Mm-hmm.
being a parent is such a gift.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, some people don't get to do that. And like, you know, having kids should be something that compels you to want to be even better than what you are.
And I'll say this too. I did not love being pregnant. I was not one of those women who loved being pregnant. In fact, I was uncomfortable for most of it. Like, I was getting sick for the first half of it.
Yeah.
Almost the entire first half. And then the second half, I was having a lot of pain.
You had a really rough go.
Yeah. It was not... I just didn't love it. I didn't love it like people had said, oh, I love being pregnant. Like, that was not my case. But when things were really hard and where days were really tough, especially at work, I never felt alone. I always had a little person with me.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't see them. I didn't know what it was. Didn't know what he was at the time. Didn't know he was a boy at the time. But I just knew, like, there is someone with me. And I am not alone. And I'm sure that's how she felt.
Mm-hmm.
So, I just thought that was really nice.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you think if you were in the position to act while pregnant, you think you'd be willing to go through that? Or do you think you'd want to, like, take a break and go through the pregnancy and all that?
I would probably want to act, but I would be very conscious about being pregnant and, like, just making sure I took it
Seriously?
all in.
Yeah.
No, like, enjoyed it.
I see.
And not take it for granted and, like, really be in the moment and very intentional. Like, I'd have a very intentional pregnancy, which hopefully the next pregnancy is very intentional.
Sure. Cool. Yeah, just a really, really great story. Children are a gift, and parenthood, all that, is a gift from God. And we don't get to, I mean, you know, obviously we choose who we marry and all that, but we don't get to, like, you know, when we give ourselves fully to a marriage, you know, we don't always get to choose when our kids come into our lives. We didn't get to choose the time that our son came into the world, and it totally came as a surprise to us. But, like, now I can't imagine my life without him, you know?
Yeah.
So it's just a really encouraging message to be seen from Hollywood, from a Hollywood celebrity who is celebrating life, and who is basically saying that, like, her child gave her the strength to continue onto the show, and to give her, and her child is why she is able to stand on that stage and accept that award, and is not an impediment and needed to be aborted in order for that moment to happen. That's really amazing. And I think she deserves the world for that.
I agree.
All right, that's all we wanted to talk about today. Yeah, Kate, did you want to mention anything else, or do you want to talk about anything else?
I don't think so. I think that was, I said my piece. I'm good with that.
Yeah.
I have a child that might wake up super early in the morning, and we're doing this really late, so
Yeah,
I would
we
like
should
to
probably,
go to bed.
I'd love to go to bed right now.
Oh my god.
Maybe we should, maybe next episode we should do a talk on Barbie.
Yes.
Our thoughts on Barbie.
If we've watched it.
Yeah, I really am curious what you think.
Yeah.
And I'm curious what I'll think too.
I'd be interested to see.
Okay, cool. Well, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
I can't wait to have you back very soon.
Oh, very excited.
Where can the good people out there find you online?
You can follow my Instagram at Have a Kate Day. It's not super active. I'm never on social media anymore, but you can follow it.
Mm-hmm. If she pops up,
If I pop up,
you'll be able to know. You guys can follow me on Instagram at official Vince Salerno and on Twitter at thebigv75. Obviously, subscribe to this podcast if you haven't already, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, where you'll see more of the Vince Salerno Podcast, some great episodes from the past, and some great episodes coming up in the future. I'm hoping to do more YouTube videos this year. Really going to try hard to do something to commemorate Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, because I'm super excited for that movie, being a big Ghostbusters fan, so be on the lookout for that. Until next time, guys, have a fantastic day. God bless, and peace out.